Well, it was one morning when I started filming up there, we had a little fog blanket come in over the cornfields. So I was doing some other stuff and I said, well, I'm going to go down to where the bears hang out and see if I can see anything there. So lo and behold, I gets over there, the sun's right, the fog is nice and thick just over the corn. I looks down there and there's a couple black bear over there. So I went right in their path. I put the tripod down, got the camera ready and all that. I get zoomed in, presses record, and looks through my viewfinder, and it was just beer in a viewfinder. Fog, beers just coming out of the fog. So I stepped back, I looked at my LCD, and I looked at them too, and one of them was running right to me. So I didn't know if he was running to me or running away from somebody else that was chasing them back, another black bear. Anyway, I let him get as close as I could to him, then I just had to vacate the tripod. By then there was 3 bears coming my way, and I mean these are all full-grown, round belly, round head bears. I let go of the tripod, I walked back about 20 foot, and then I seen a bear come by, right by it. I couldn't see the tripod enough, just seen a bear come by, and I said, they had to hit the tripod, they had to hit the camera. I thought I was going back to a busted camera. I gets over there, the camera is still standing up, the bears are gone. I stopped recording, put the playback on, and damn if I didn't get it. Yeah, I got it good, and you'll see it in this film. So that was a pretty exciting thing. And it was also heart stopping because I don't know if they were coming after me or they were just getting away, but I didn't want to stand around and see. I did a little thing I call my float camera, and it's on a piece of styrofoam cover that I took from a styrofoam cooler. Just to cover a portion of it, I tipped it upside down, put a couple holes in it, and I've got a GoPro camera, which is a professional little camera. And it's waterproof and whatnot. I put that, mounted it on there, and I took a leveler from a leveling stick there. I took the bubble out, put it on there, so I made sure I had a leveling mark. It goes down to the mud, but plants it down in there, presses a button on record, and then I took off a little bit down the road and started recording some other stuff, knowing that the coots would have to go by there at one point or another. And they did, and everything was just so perfect. The sun was behind them and everything, and that was one of the things that I kind of invented. And we use it for other things too. We got pole cameras. I got underwater mounts that I can use. I even developed a 360-degree mount that I actually use, and it's on a timer. And now we can get 360-degree pictures, whether they're stills or video. So those are a couple of little things. And I did quite a bit on Alligator River as far as filming and all that, and I was there quite a bit, and just so many things out there that while I was doing it, that was the best one. But probably the most exciting one, and the one I spent personal time on, was a cockaded woodpecker. Now this is a pretty rare bird around here because we don't have very many longleaf pines. And I got a hold of a couple pines that had what they call a candle effect on it, and had a hole in it. Candle effect is where these cockaded woodpeckers, they bore their hole into the hardwood. Now before they have their nest and eggs and all that, they'll tap holes around the bottom of the nest, all around the outside of the wood, and all around the outside on top. And you just poke holes in there. Now when you have holes in a live pine tree, it leaks out the sap. Well, as it leaks out, birders know that they call it a candling effect, which is a leaking effect you get when the candle is lit, you know, it leaks down on the sides. It's the same thing on these cockaded woodpeckers, where they live, when they're not having a nest, they live there year round. It's kind of a family affair. Now when I did these cockaded woodpeckers, I did not have any room to move. I had one place I could take them, and I actually had to wait for the sun to be at the right place. And I'd done that for several weekends, and it took all of 51 hours just to get like 30 seconds of prime time stuff. So that was the hardest animals that, you know, they're kind of spooky. They see you and they take off, but I had to plan, you know, Tiget, the alligators, and I'd go there and I'd sit there sometimes and try and find them. Now, a lot of times I'd sneak up to them and they'd just see me. I mean, they could see good. They just like submerged like a submarine and they're gone. And they can hold their breath a half hour. So just putting the time in, just waiting. And I finally got some of the shots. In one shot I just went clear on by them. I didn't see him because I was looking for some other animal. And I seen this thing look like a log in the water. Comes back, sure enough it was alligator. And it was the most aggressive alligator I videotaped. And he actually come up toward me, give me a splash, and then took off, and as he was taking off he ate a frog. So he was very cooperative, and that was one of them. Another one I had to wait, I bet you a better part of 2.5 to 3 weeks to get him out of the water, so you know he was on land and could see the actual size of him. But the alligators were a little bit of competition for me. They kept me on my toes. It was pretty nice. I did get a shot where he took down a anhinga, but I just my camera just wasn't ready for it, so all I could do was look at it with my eyes. But the alligators were kind of hard, and you know I couldn't get any set time on them. I just had to be there. The Alligator River one, I bet I used up to 6 different cameras, and of those was between the still cameras I have, high definition cameras. I have a micro camera. I've got like a brand new Nikons. I've got a big C5 unit, the Sony, and actually I use about 3 cameras per shot just to get what I can. So a lot of times if I was filming with my big camera, I'd have my still camera out that had high definition on it, top-notch camera, and I'd take my still shots of it. And that's how we get all the still shots of what we're actually shooting. And a lot of times I'll just videotape, handheld videotape it also, just in case the other one's not working. I do that. And at the same time, I kind of invented a lot of different ways of using my cameras. Whether it was at nighttime, I've got underwater lights. Well, the underwater light is great underwater, but when you're on top of water, on land, it really amplifies the light. And I could just shine anything at nighttime, dead of night with no moon, and it'll look like it's daytime when you shoot it.